Welcome to the Premier League show. It was Champions League week this week.
Yeah.
There was a couple of games played.
That literally goes against what we're talking about.
It does it?
Well, it's not the Champions League show, is it?
No, but I'm talking about the teams in the Premier League,
okay,
but obviously preparing for the Champions League.
Yes, they were.
Weren't they?
They were.
Therefore, there was a couple of games on Saturday
There
involving
was.
the top two.
Yeah.
The Merseyside derby.
They're not the top two.
Last season's
Okay,
top
last
two.
season's
Not
top.
this year's.
We're 6 games in.
Yeah, but we're in the...
Let the past be the past,
we're
man.
talking-
Let the past. Liverpool fans would love you to talk about them as being a top 2 side. They would love to.
They were-
Leave them in the past.
Very much like the derby on the
Yeah.
weekend. No, I'm just saying, last season's top two played
Yeah.
at the weekend.
They did.
Liverpool played in the Merseyside derby early,
I
and
believe
City with a late game,
Yeah.
right? Because of Champions League this week.
They were.
The Merseyside derby was 0-0.
It was.
Loads of VAR stuff in it.
Loads. Well, not loads.
Well, it was.
One big one.
Well, no, there was 3 moments of
Okay.
that should have been involved in VAR. One was a goal disallowed for Everton, which could well have stood if you listen to different referees.
Or they'd used the Champions League new VAR
Which
system.
we're going to discuss in a minute. Segue. There was the Virgil van Dijk possible red card again, which, depending on which side of the fence you are, it was or it wasn't.
Yeah.
And there was the moment that VAR should have been used and wasn't when James Milner had a game of basketball.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely true.
And that was missed as well. But the game ended 0-0. Disappointing for Everton. Had big chances to win it. Jordan Pickford was amazing. Made great saves to ensure Liverpool didn't win it. And obviously give Liverpool a frustrating afternoon because you don't want to drop points. They've already, in their eyes, dropped points against Fulham, Palace, obviously lost against United, and another 2 points dropped, in their opinion, against Everton. And then that gives City the opportunity at half-5 going to Aston Villa, a chance to move further ahead of Liverpool. Villa being in poor form this season, just a 1 win against Everton. And that man, again, I don't know whether Rory is still fuming.
Oh,
but,
Rory will be fuming.
He'll be go quiet, won't he?
On the playlist.
He'll do Rory off the playlist. Will do what he should really do, just not mention Haaland again. But it was Erling Haaland scoring for City after a delightful cross from Kevin De Bruyne on the run. Looked, City went ahead and you thought, game over now. But fair play to Villa. Leon Bailey, who have people who watch this regularly will know I think he's a good player. He levelled up with a great goal for Villa. And then there was a controversial moment again.
Another controversial
because
moment.
Because Phil Coutinho scored a goal. Players had stopped. But
No, I don't think that. I don't think him scoring was necessarily the controversial moment. I don't think.
Well,
I just think that the way it played out.
The
was,
linesman put the flag up. The referee blew the whistle and play stopped and
shot.
put it in the top corner. But when you watched it again, he was onside. And it was that thing of a thought, let it play out and then put the. But listen, it ended 1-1. So City will, even though they'll probably be a little bit disappointed they didn't win the game, Liverpool haven't, and they will look at Liverpool still as their main rival.
Yeah, of course you've got to, haven't you?
And so,
yeah, of course.
You know, they haven't kind of lost any ground on Liverpool. And obviously they, you know, wanted the game because of Champions League. And we'll go back onto the Premier League in a minute because it is a big Champions League thing. And obviously the lads over on the playlist have been discussing the Champions League. Let's have a listen to what they had to say.
It was Liverpool 05 was the best Champions League game I've ever seen.
But it wasn't. Look, it was huge, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I think these top.
You've
I think
got
these
third.
top 3 only because I thought 99 was amazing. Think about what 99 was.
99 was amazing.
As a treble. Not only was it a treble. Arsenal the previous year had done a double, and Arsenal fans were, you know, they had a swagger about them.
I get.
They done a double. United was like, don't care, done a treble.
I get that. I get what you're saying. Liverpool 05, they were, as you all know, everyone will know, they were 3-0 down. To get back 3-0 and to win on penalties the way they did.
That team, that midfield of Pirlo, Gattuso and Kaka.
Wow.
Back of Nesta, Maldini, Stab.
Sexy football.
I'm not joking, it was Rick Seedorf. It was fully loaded.
But that's
Hernan
applicable,
Crespo,
that's applicable to
Hernan
Manchester
Crespo
United
up front with
beating Bayern.
Shevchenko. No, it isn't. Hernan Crespo up front with Shevchenko.
It is.
It
Bayern were
is
pretty good.
scary. What's that?
You're saying things as if they aren't true about the Bayern Munich team that Manchester United beat or the Bayern Munich team that
No,
Chelsea
it's very good. I'm not saying that, but I'm trying to say that makes AC Milan squad's better.
It wasn't. It gave up a 3-0 lead.
Look, this is coming from a guy you can't despise. I despise Man United with every fibre of my body. I do, but they won a treble.
I know.
And it's the last minute. Like,
It's incredible.
Mate, they were losing.
They were losing
losing
to Bayern
in the
Munich.
91st minute.
Yeah, I agree that.
They were losing and they
Mate,
won. It didn't go to
Liverpool-
penalties. They were losing and won.
That was a discussion that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch the rest of that video on 888 Sports YouTube channel, the playlist. Yeah, I mean, listen, there's only one answer to that. Manchester United 1999. They didn't win on penalties, did they? You know what I mean? They didn't draw the game. They won the
They
game.
were 1-0 down in injury time.
Yeah.
And won the Champions League.
Dublin.
Within the injury time.
Yeah. And I can't even think of another good game where an English team come back and won the Champions League.
No.
So,
No. Certainly not in game time. Without
Not in
having
game
to beat
time.
penalties.
not, you know, they drew. There's teams that have drawn games.
Team was drawn. Chelsea
Yeah,
drew, didn't
and
they?
they've
Bayern
drawn-
Munich
you know,
and
they've
done well on.
pulled lots out or
Whatever-
flicked the coin,
whatever it
whatever it was. But there you go. I
Trivial
mean, that's-
pursuit or something to win.
I'm, you know, fair play to the lads. Maybe that they used that conversation to get away from Rory having to talk about Haaland, who went on and scored a couple of goals in the Champions League.
Well,
as
of course, you know, Rory did say he couldn't understand why people thought Haaland had come in and do well, basically, because he was being disrespectful to people like Harry Kane and Son
and obviously Salah,
and Timo Werner.
who started the season
And Mo
so well.
Salah. So there you go, but fair play, Rory. So yeah, it's Manchester United, the right answer. They obviously went on into the Champions League. But what we'll do is we'll carry on with the Prem and we'll go into the Champions League to finish. That's what we'll do.
Right.
So pause. There was a huge game on Sunday for
was.
the league leaders, Arsenal. People talking about it as being their first big test.
Yeah.
They went to Manchester United, who have reborn almost under Erik ten Hag after, since that crushing Brentford defeat.
The humiliation.
They've been in great form,
they
haven't
have.
they?
They
And-
have.
and They
Give
ran
them-
out 3-1 winners here.
Yeah. He gave them all the power that game, didn't he? Give them the power to do what he needed to do. Bench Ronaldo and Maguire and bring in his players, and he got Anthony in, who scored the first goal.
He did.
After, I mean, Arsenal had the goal disallowed, which I thought was really poor.
It was harsh,
I
wasn't
thought
it?
it was very, very harsh. But he took the lead, Anthony, scoring on his debut. He equalised, but then caught Arsenal on the counter-attack, and then Arsenal second half. I thought Arteta went too early with all the subs and going gung-go with when there was plenty of time left. I thought that showed a little bit of naivety that in a style. I think you go play somewhere like Man United, and I think you just play if you can't win, you draw. But I don't think you should go, well, if we can't win, we throw everything at them. It's your sixth game of the season, man. Get yourself sorted. Just get a draw and get out of there.
Yeah, you've been
But
flying.
he went for it, and it cost them, and United went and got a third. And again, brilliant result for them. Arsenal still top of the league, of course. City did miss that opportunity to go above them by drawing with Villa, but I thought he was a bit silly. But it's another good win. It's another good win for United. I think is that the
Four on the row,
four
isn't
in a row. So really, really good for them, and they've got the new players in as well. Some and they're looking all right, looking good.
Yeah, he seems to be getting his ideas across now. Nice little finish from Anthony to put United ahead. And then to come back, Saka obviously equalised, to come back at 1-1, and then to, Marcus Rashford, I think, has had a good start as well. Another goal for him, and got the third goal. So, good results. Marcus flying, and I think if you get him scoring regularly, Rashford as well, I think he'll do well. And obviously Ronaldo came on, didn't he? And they almost had another goal late on as well. But for Arsenal, brilliant. I mean, I imagine every Arsenal fan would have took 5 wins out the first 6 games at the start of the season. So it's been a great start for them, and it's how they picked themselves up now. But I think you're right. I think at 1-1 with 25 minutes to go, just dig in. Don't give anything silly away. And if you can't win it, don't lose it, like we say. And maybe he'll learn from that. But for them, a disappointing result. But for United, like you said, to turn it down from that 4-0, at Brentford, and they look calamitous that day. they've come back brilliantly and up, you know, up into the top 6 now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Chelsea.
Yeah. Another controversial
Another
one.
controversial game, you know, ended up beating West Ham 2-1
And then sacking the manager.
and sacked the manager a couple of days later.
And then given the job to Brighton Potter.
You know, big
you go.
week. I mean, Ben Chilwell, you know, Matt Antonio put Chelsea ahead, didn't he, after an hour? Ben Chilwell equalised, Kai Havertz scored with a couple of minutes left. And then West Ham thought they'd equalised deep in injury time. Maxwell Cornet with a lovely finish. And VAR stepped in and gave a foul against Mendy. That when you see it again, isn't a foul.
No.
Isn't a foul. It's a brilliant finish.
Not a chance.
And that, it frustrates fans, doesn't it? Because sometimes there can be something in it and you go, like the Arsenal goal, Martinelli's goal at Old Trafford, I thought it was harsh. There was a little push, but they're supposed to be not giving those free kicks nowadays. It's supposed to let it go because he made the most of it going on the floor. But this one, when you watch it again, there's no... He's basically give a foul against Mendy for almost intent from the player. But the player, Mendy gets the ball, like the ball breaks before the player even gets by him and the player doesn't even hit him. Mendy just takes his eyes off the ball, so I thought West Ham were harshly done to.
Absolute nonsense. And obviously, the Premier League or the PGML have come out and said that they got it wrong.
Yeah.
So and it's an awful decision, and it's cost them a point.
I mean, in the game itself wasn't very good. Chelsea had 68% possession, 8 attempts at goal to West Ham 6. So not exactly a very creative game of football from either side, really. I mean, West Ham don't have to. They go there. Moyes will try and frustrate, but big win for Chelsea. But unfortunately for Thomas Tuchel, it wasn't enough to save them. They then go and lose to lost in the week, didn't he?
Yeah, in the Champions League.
In the Champions League, and he's ended up losing his job. And then there's obviously been stuff come out now that Todd Bowley tried to force players on him.
Yeah.
If you like, you know, there was a disagreement over Cristiano Ronaldo. Chelsea wanted him and Tuchel didn't. Anthony Gordon, apparently Bowley was following the numbers from his data guy and wanted them, and Tuchel wasn't really that bothered by it. And if there's those kinds of little splits then it's no wonder that the first sign of trouble they've got to do.
Yeah, the results weren't great and football's not that good, so if they've had a falling out over players, then the owners looked elsewhere.
Some of the media reaction I thought was dead interesting because people acting like they're really shocked. But me and you've done a show on Monday and said Tuchel could be in trouble if he doesn't start getting a run going. And this is after a win.
It's football, isn't it?
And they're talking like it's, you know. But yeah, leaves West Ham near the bottom, obviously. Brentford beat Leeds 5-2. Ivan Toney with 3 tremendous, well, one was a penalty, but great strike from a free kick. And his third goal when the keeper, Meslier, who always is likely to give you the goal, come out and
get him on the plane.
It was so calm.
The chip is what I wanted Anthony Gordon to do last week.
The little chip.
He did exactly the same
done
thing.
The same thing.
I was just like, chip it in.
Him, yeah. I mean, he's a decent keeper, Meslier, but he does give you the chance.
He is young, isn't he? Makes little mistakes.
He does make mistakes, but Brentford, fantastic result, you know. They don't like Leeds either, do they? Sinisterra getting a goal for Leeds as well. Wemo and Wissa, and obviously Marco Rocha. That reduced it to 3-2, hadn't it? Got to 3-2, and then Brentford stepped it back up. But
Jesse Marsh sent off as well.
Jesse Marsh sent off.
Probably trying to show everyone is watching him.
Yeah. Proud
Maybe
of the
that's
watch.
what it was.
No, listen.
Big win that though, because when you think about
win.
what the Brentford sort of, what they could have done to Everton, the opportunities they missed, they made amends for it, didn't they, in this game by actually getting those, taking those chances and getting those goals.
Beat United 4-0, of course, as well. So
that just shows you,
we had a 4-0, a 1-1 and a 5-2 at home, and so basically we're brilliant. Newcastle 0, Palace 0, another VAR. You're fuming about this one, aren't you?
It's awful. Yeah. It shows you everything that's wrong with VAR and why people start to look at what's going on with it. Newcastle had a goal disallowed late on. They have shown the referee an angle that suggests that the Newcastle player has barged into the keeper. But the other angle, which he never got, shows that he was pushed in the back by the Crystal Palace player who ended up scoring the own goal. And this shows how VAR can be manipulated.
Yeah.
And but not even manipulated. It just comes down to being the ref being just poor, because he's looked at something to try and disallow the goal, but he's not took the whole picture into it. So he's not gone. At no point has it crossed his mind that something else might have happened in that box. And by doing that, he's managed to disallow a goal and stop Newcastle from earning 3 points. And it shows you that VAR is great, but it's only as good as the people who use it.
Yeah.
And if he's only showing the referee one angle and saying this is why it should be, I reckon you should look at this because he's pushed him, and he hasn't looked at the other angle.
Yeah.
And I think this is where VAR needs to change. If a manager, if a ref goes to the screen, he should be shown every angle, no matter what.
Yeah.
There might have been a push or something else in the build-up, or you might see something else in the build-up, or to whatever's gone on. And I just think it's so poor, really, really poor. And they've admitted they've got it wrong. Well, that's great, but it doesn't give Newcastle points. It doesn't do anything. And in the course of the season, that could be huge for either team. You know, who knows? Yeah. I just think it's awful. It shows that when people go on about VAR as this almost like this word that encapsulates everything. It's like, no, look at the fella in the boot hasn't shown the ref the angle, and the ref makes a decision based on one angle. Yes, the ref should be saying, show me the other angle. And again, because we're not privy to those conversations, because we haven't been told what's going on, we don't know.
Yeah. Mad.
Really poor, really poor.
Tight game now. Newcastle 52% possession, 23 attempts at goal to Palace's 19. Palace actually had more shots on target than Newcastle, but ended 0-0. Forest 2, Bournemouth 3. This was a mad one. Forest 2-0 up and cruising.
Yeah.
It looked like Czech Coyote, Brennan Johnson penalty in first half stoppage time, give Forest a 2-0 lead.
Yeah.
Philip Billing, Dominic Solanke and Jaden Anthony.
Great goal by Billing,
second half goals.
Great goal by Billing.
To turn this one around for Bournemouth.
What a week they've had.
Yeah.
9-0, 0-0, 3-2.
And then finished with a win.
Brilliant.
Was Scott Parker the issue? Sacked them and took 4 points from 2 games.
His wardrobe, I think, was the issue. It was distracting.
Distracting at best. Did people just think he was the captain and
maybe
he wasn't on the pitch? And
maybe
they were wondering why.
No. Too much authority.
Yeah, mad. But that win took Bournemouth up to 13.
2 wins.
Forest second to bottom now. Obviously won early doors, didn't he, against West Ham at home, and the other points against Everton. So signed another player as well, Serge Aurier, becoming signing number 22, which is never good for any team. Spurs, another good win for them, beat Fulham 2-1. Højbjerg and Harry Kane put them 2 up. And Mitrovic got himself another goal. And then a minute later thought he'd equalised. Brilliant save from Lloris from a deflection. Richarlison thought he had a goal, chalked off. But for Spurs, another win.
Yeah.
And they're third, joint second with Man City. 14 points. Good start for them under Conte. Wolves beat Southampton 1-0. Daniel Podence in first half stoppage time.
And they've obviously brought Diego Costa in. Which will be interesting for the Premier League.
It will be. Be interesting for Wolves.
Big win that for Wolves, I think. Just a bit of pressure was building up on there.
On Lage,
yeah, Bruno Lage. So big win for them. They've had injury issues, and of course their new striker got an ACL. So
he's done.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Southampton were with the better side, apparently, if you're looking at chances and stuff. Wolves won it. And we've already done that. And then on to Sunday was obviously what proved to be Graham Potter's last game in charge of Brighton. And what a game it was. Went behind in the opening minutes, 2-2 after 15 minutes. In the actual...
Well, no, 33 minutes it was 2-2.
Sorry, 33 minutes. Daka and Iniacho, Luke Thomas' own goal. Casido made it 2-1. Leicester made it 2-2.
McAllister had a goal disallowed, which is incredible.
And an unbelievable goal, wasn't it? Unbelievable goal. And then obviously scored a pen and then scored an absolute worldie of a free kick.
He did, fair play to him. But his goal disallowed was a joke.
Oh, it was a joke.
But
it's tremendous.
But, you know, great goal. As you mentioned there, Potter's last game as a chat. And it's going to be that interesting, isn't it? Because he's a manager we've all spoke about for a while. Was he ready? Was he ready for the big job? Well, he's got the big job now, and it's going to be really interesting to see how he gets on. And he could be an absolute brilliant manager if he's allowed to do his job and allowed to get on with the things he likes to do. He's got a brilliant team there, and it'll be interesting to see how Chelsea play and how they prosper under him.
Takes over a Chelsea team 3 points behind his current team. So it'll be interesting to see how long Brighton stay above them. Yeah. For Leicester, a lot of people thought it'd be Brendan Rodgers' last game. At the weekend, they've played 6, won none, drew 1, lost 5. They are struggling, I think it's fair to be said.
Yeah. But they've got Villa at home this week, which could be a very decisive game for both of those managers.
Yeah, both managers under a little bit of heat at the moment. That's a big game, isn't it? Big game, so be interesting to see what happens there. Just very quickly then on the Champions League, you've already mentioned City won 4-0 in Seville, didn't he? Liverpool were beaten 4-1 in Napoli. Liverpool blown apart in Napoli, which was a bit of a surprise. Spurs won 2-0 at home against Marseille. You had Joey Barton in the crowd with the Marseille fans, which was a bit of an interesting one, wasn't it?
Definitely.
But just onto the Champions League, one of the big things that come in was, of course, and Chelsea lost it, and you've already mentioned it, was the offside. The new offside with the chip in the ball.
Well, there's no chip in the ball in the Champions League, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, apparently
this is for the World Cup.
This is something
okay.
Yeah, apparently there's no chip in the ball in the Champions League.
But there is for the World Cup.
But there is for the World Cup.
Right.
But using the new video tech, they can detect when the ball leaves the player's foot. They just don't have that extra thing of the chip, apparently.
Okay.
But with the cameras, they can detect it because they've got all the extremities covered and all that. So
seemed to work.
There was a couple of examples, and it seemed to work well. You see the big sort of curtain, virtual curtain, and you see what's going over the line, whether it be a tiny toe or whether it be more than a toe. And I know people have got an issue with what is offside and how far offside goes, but what do you do? I mean, I don't understand people go, well, it was always supposed to give people the benefit of the doubt, and now it's become a, absolute certainty if any of your body's offside, it's offside. But what do you do? Because I seen one the other day, and it was like, yesterday, it was like the toe was over. But then people last week were saying it should only be your foot. Like, well, it is his foot, it's his toe. How far do you want to go? Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you want absolute certainty, you've got to have absolute certainty. If you don't, you don't. You're either, where'd you take it, I think? No, I know he's not our favourite person there, but Cleaner said years ago, well, where do you want it to stop? The ball goes over the line. What do you want it to be? Do you want it to be over the line or not over the line? And is it the same with offside? I know it can be hard, I know, but at the same time, if it's offside, it's offside. If someone puts a flag, if someone beeps and someone puts a flag up and they say it's offside, isn't it? As long as we all get used to it and it's consistent, and the technology is doing the job, and we're not getting 4 minutes while lines are drawn, then I have no issue with that.
No, because we either do it where it's daylight, but then that becomes a thing, doesn't it? Is the daylight?
Because then you have to measure the daylight.
And is that with that? So I think you're probably better just going, he's offside. Yeah. There's the technology. If you're a centimetre offside, you're a centimetre offside. That's the way it is. If that's the rule, that needs to be. And then, like I said, the next thing for me would be buzzer on the linesman's arm. Yeah. If they can get that technology to buzz within a second or two, he puts his flag up, and we all go, must be offside. Yeah,
and that's it.
Because the thing's there. So that you get on with it. Yeah. Oh, I thought he might have been on there. That's the way it is.
Because as a football fan, by the way, if we have a line and it's there, we'll get as many for us as we get against.
Of course, yeah.
Because
you just get used to it.
And that's the difference. At the moment, we don't feel that because we don't feel the certainty of it.
No.
We don't trust the lines.
No.
We don't trust when the ball's being played.
Well, not when we're told the lines we see aren't the lines they use.
Exactly.
So what's that about?
So now that we've got certainty, if it works, then, and if it comes into the Premier League, if we've got certainty, we'll get on with it, and people will soon forget.
Well, hang on. It's like I know we're all stuck in the thing of the linesman putting his flag up and timing your run and crossing over and all that, but in things like long jump, where they hit the board, or triple jump, the flag, if you're over it, they look at it and go, no, his toes over it, and you go, oh, it was a world record, but mate, but his toes over the line. That just has to be it. And like I said, the more times, if I know that that's a finite line, and if I go over it by, it doesn't matter if it's my toenail, the linesman puts his flag up in the match, we'll just see the linesman go up and go, oh, he's off. Oh, I thought he was in there. You just start doing the same. We've done it with the goal line technology. It goes over the line or it doesn't go over the line. You have a shot at it, the bar comes out and the referee goes, play on, you go, oh, it must be close, that. Don't you? You go, it must be close, that. You don't go, it went in and the goal line technology didn't see it. You go, it must have been close. We saw that the Man City-Liverpool one a couple of years ago when it was literally, you know, Liverpool thought they'd scored and when you were like, well, the ball wasn't, it was
and
as close as it can be.
Isn't it? When you see the goal line technology and you hear people start going, well, it's over the line, so, or it's that far from being over the line, so it might as well be. Yeah, but it's not.
No, it's not. That's the rule.
That's the rule. And if we start dicking about with the rules to a point where it suits somebody, then, like as you said, because all you'll get is, well, there should be 6 inches. Well, if there's 6 inches, right.
What about when it's 6 1/4?
Yeah, exactly.
People are still more.
Still want more.
Why is that there? There should be a bit more. You can't do it. You're better off going, it's finite. And if you're a millimetre in front of the defender, you're offside. And we all know it then. The only mad thing with it is, but I get it, it's like this with VAR anyway. The only mad thing is, in the Championship, it won't be like that. There'll still be lines the same way as it is now. And in League One, so you play by different rules, but that's just the way it is, isn't it? That's just the way it is, and you'd have to get used to it very quickly. If you're offside, you're offside. I honestly think it's brilliant, and I think the next thing for me will be develop the technology so they get a buzzer, the linesman, either in his flag or on his arm, and when that's there, whether it can be automated to go, fella's offside, he just puts his flag up.
Exactly.
And they don't have to go, which one was it? You just put the flag up and go, he's offside. And if that's done within, you know, if you see a ball go over the top and within 1 or 2 seconds the linesman puts his flag up, you just go, oh. Because at the moment we've got the fella running through, and he's running through and the ball's there, and then he touches the ball, and then the linesman puts his flag up. And the lad might have been running onto a ball for 2 or 3 seconds until he touches it. So, I think you do it, make it absolute and go, that's where we are.
Yeah, that's it. The only way you can do it.
Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Don't forget, get over to 888 Sports YouTube channel. Check out the playlist. Leave your comments on there. Put comments on about what Champions League win you think was the best, if you want to. But anything we've discussed, let us know in the comments section below. Make sure you subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and we'll see you next week. Bye.